Goku! 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 Can't afford to lose. Everyone's counting on me.
So in this one, I'm going to be going over all the best current teams in the game to start out the year here in 2024. A list of around 10 teams that are currently dominating the meta. So a lot of the best units, partners, bench options, and just overall maybe even equipments I'll probably browse through to help you guys build the teams if you do have the necessary components. So make sure to drop a like in this video and subscribe if you guys are new, because I do upload every single day with Dragon Ball Legends content. Let me know in the comment section what team you guys are running in PvP right now. Without further ado, this list is not in any order. I will probably mention if the teams are closer to the top of the better teams, and this one specifically is closer to the best teams in the game. Don't think it's specifically number one, but there's a lot of units that hover around that margin here. We do have a red, blue, or green Sun family setup. Goku and Bardock obviously being the rush protection with the indestructible. There's nothing that can nullify that ability, so it's really powerful. Goku and Bardock just having two colors, insane as well. You know, you're able to have type advantages over an extra color in the game. Gohan and Pan just being one of the best duos in the game, partnered up with, you know, Goku and Bardock. I think these two characters right now are the best individual characters in the game. There's like maybe one or other two characters right now that could compete with that statement, being like UI Sign or even Super 17 individually, right? But yeah, the utility is kind of insane. The AoE green cards, infinite vanishes, nuking potential, right? You have the two best damage dealers in the game, and then you have an uber juice support unit to just infinitely buff them, right? Really good. I'm actually insanely surprised how well Pan is aged in the meta compared to like units that were on her banner. LF, Blue Beast, Gohan, insane, right? You would think there's no way that Pan's going to be this much more valuable than a unit, or even arguable top 10 in today's age. But literally, I would personally put her in the honorable mentions or even in the top 10 placement. I know that's crazy to have a unit that's this valuable, but her taggings are just too great. She fits on numerous double red setups with Beast, with the revival units, Piccolo, or even revival, Pycon, etc. You could leader slot her on multiple setups as well. This one specifically, we're running the top 3 units. We do have Goku and Bardock being Zenkai buffed. We have Gohan and Pan being double Zenkai buffed. I don't think there's any other better bench options as well. We're just receiving a load of base offenses and defenses for the top 3. Pan is going to be the HP on this setup, and that is pretty much it. Beast Gohan does provide support for himself as well. He provides blast support for his allies. Said Pan is pretty much the overall support, so you definitely want to get her value off before she is sacked off mid-game. But yeah, equipment wise, we are running pretty much strike heavy setup. This is going to be primarily strike, but since it's just overall damage inflicted that we are getting from Pan, you're just going to be doing some nice damage all around. So this Bardock equipment is really good, which is giving pure offenses, base defenses, and special move. Special move on both of these units are just nuking pretty much everybody. So base strike, special move, defenses. This one right here is a pure strike equipment with some more base strike, HP, and crits. So a lot of pure strike, some pure blast as well. Special move is really going to hit. Some other equipment options. This one's really good for Goku and Bardock as well. It's both base offenses and HP. You could offer maybe some other pures. Maybe this one works well as well. I'd probably put this in placement over this one, to be completely real, just because it gives both offensive pures, base defenses, and yeah, I mean, this one's really good as well. It's a really great option. For Beast, I'm running the same exact equipment. Sun Family Plat, which is giving pure offenses, base defenses. Middle Equip is giving base defenses, base strike attack, and special move. You know, you definitely want the special move to be hitting, so even more special move, defenses, and pure strike attack. For Pan, it's pretty much just all defense, HP for the most part, so I got a lot of key recovery, HP. It's around 15% HP, so it's giving base strike, pure defenses, and base defenses, and then the last one is giving just a base defenses and HP. Obviously, you're not getting the pure strike or blast from this, but it has really high base defenses with HP, which is what Pan wants to kind of be durable, and not even durable, just like tank as much as possible. I don't think she's getting a lot of healing, but yeah. This is the first team. Let's move on to the next one. So the second setup we do have here is going to be a pure Saiyans team. We do have Goku and Bardock with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Revival Pycon. So not only do we have 2 rush protectors from Revival to Indestructible, we do have an anti-Revival unit being Gogeta 4. And he just, you know, obviously gets a crazy damage buff. He gets Dragon Balls when you pop a unit's revival. And, you're seeing revivals pretty often. PyCon has a lot of some of the best team options right now. We have double Zenkai buffs on Goku and Bardock. We have double Zenkai buffs on the PyCon. And we have a double Zenkai buffs technically on Gogeta 4 because he's Zenkai buffing himself. But yeah, Super Vegito is going to be the HP. He's around 12% if you have him 14 stars. It is more of a strike-heavy setup. There's a lot of double defense abilities here. So these three have double defense abilities. It's a little bit of a tanky build, but at the same exact time, there's Zenkai buffs rolling around, so they're all getting the base offenses as well. So definitely a really good rounded out build. Support-wise, PyCon's providing support for the team. Gogeta 4 is providing support for the team on swap. So there's support flooding through. Equipments are pretty much the same for Goku and Bardock as the last setup. Just pure offenses, base defenses, special move. Just more pure strike, base strike, HP. And I actually opted for a base offenses on this with more HP because we do lack HP on this build. So you definitely want to make up for it on equipments if you can. For Gogeta 4, I believe this is the best equipments you want to have. So this one's giving base HP, special move, ult damage, and pure strike by 15% because there's 3 Saiyan battle members. This one's giving pure offenses, base defenses, and special move. And then the last one's obviously his unique equipment. It's a must-have if you're running Gogeta 4. HP, double base defenses, base offenses, inflicted damage, and their the ability, obviously, that gives him a crazy damage buff if you pop a revival. For a PyCon, there's a lot of options for him equipment-wise, actually. This item right here is giving, I'm opted for more of a strike-heavy setup. He has base strike, base defenses, base HP, and some more base strike. This one's giving pure strike and strike defense with some base blast and base defenses. The last one, this equipment is really good for all Saiyans if you're running Goku and Bardock, so I would have farmed multiple of them. Base offenses, pure offenses, or base defenses, excuse me, base defenses, pure offenses, and special move. I've been running that on pretty much everyone that I want to lock in with Goku and Bardock that's also a Saiyan. But like I said, this is probably close to one of the best teams, if not the best team in the game right now. And yeah, let's move on to the next team. Jumping into the next setup here, we do have a pure GT setup, as in the top 3 characters here. The only ones we're going to be using is the new Super 17, GT Spirit Bomb Goku, and we do have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So, these 2 characters right now are pretty insane. I have them at low stars, and they're competing at the top ranks very casually. With some really great utilities, right? GT Spirit Bomb is very tanky, very durable. He's also able to deal very solid damage. Gogeta being a solid support. Utility-wise, double ultimates, anti-revival. We got the rush protection just from the endurance, and he does cancel buffs like the ultimate and rising rushes that cancel or nullify, endurance. So endurance is pretty safe for the most part. You're not really running into UVB. I don't think he's on any of the best teams right now, so he's easily falling out the top 10. I know, crazy, a great unit falling off the top 10. Still good, but endurance is pretty solid right now. And then Super 17 being very versatile, even though he's a blast-centric unit. Fitting on this setup is fine for him. Bench-wise, we got 17 being Zenkai buff, Spirit Bomb being Zenkai buff. You can opt for a Zenkai buff for Gogeta 4 and replace one of these, but I thought since Gogeta already has his own Zenkai, he doesn't really need one as much. But, yeah, we got equipments. So for Super 17, we're running the Awakened Kefla, which is giving 45% base blast attack and defenses. This one's optimal as well, giving health restore, ultimate damage. He does have 2 ults. Really, really powerful stuff right there. Base offenses and base HP. And then the last one's also really good. Pure offenses and base defenses. For GT Spirit Bomb, I got this one, which is giving special move, base defenses, base blast attack, and HP. This one's giving pure offenses, base offenses, and HP. And then the last one is going to be a strike equip. So he's a pretty rounded out setup for him. Defenses, special move, strike. For Gogeta 4, it's pretty much the same items. I actually opted for some different stuff here. So base strike, special move, key recovery, defense. This one's pure offenses, base defenses, and HP. And then his unique equipments. Gogeta 4 having access to a couple of options as well. But EX Goku obviously being the HP. They got a little bit of the extra base offenses. All of them have the LL abilities. So some really good stuff. I highly recommend you guys try it. GT is not the best setup, but it's actually, working its way up to being the #1 setup with 1 or 2 more buffs. And I think it's definitely deserved considering the team has been MIA for as long as I can remember. But yeah, let's move on to the next build. All right, jumping into the very next one, we do have a movies setup. So this one is going to be pretty much a double supported Beast Gohan. You know, Piccolo provides support. He's also the rush protection on this build with his revival. Pan, you know, just being the support specifically, and then Beast Gohan being the main character. I think Piccolo's actually very impressive on this setup. It's probably Piccolo's best build, and really what makes him top tier is throwing him on a setup with these two. It's like the perfect synergy. It actually feels like they all released for each other. The synergy on this setup is ridiculous, right? So the sub count manipulation, like I said, the support, the access to Zenkai buffer. So this is a movies setup. We got double Zenkai buffs for Beast and Pan. You know, Piccolo's got a Zenkai buff as well. There's different bench options you can run, but I personally run with the Zenkai buffers. He's a lot of already base strike attack support flooding through, so it's going to be really good overall. But if you wanted to replace something, probably this Super Saiyan Man 1 and 2 for like an EX bench of like 50% base strike attack and defense. You guys know what I'm saying. Just for extra strike if you guys really wanted it, but I'm really fond of the extra stats, so the more defenses, and you're getting base strike as well. But if you wanted more strike, you would run someone like Super, or the Android 13, I believe, is the red one. But yeah, equipment wise for Beast, just a lot of special move, base strike, base defenses. This one's a pure movies equipped, so you're getting around 18 pure strike attacks and base defense and crits. And then the last one is really, really good because your pure offenses, base offenses, and HP. We got a regen and hybrid Saiyan battle member. For Pickle, we do have the same exact equipment because there's hybrids, regen, all that. So pure offenses, base offenses, HP. For the middle one, we do have is unique equipment. You need this. Base offenses, base defenses, pure defenses after transforming. So that's, you know, it is what it is, but it's, you know, mandatory. And then his last slot is a whole buff after transforming as well. And then the last one is pure strike defense, and some defenses and base blast attack. For Pan, it's the same equips. I have her a little bit opted for offense comparative to the last Pan setup. Special move, base strike attack and defense. This obviously can be swapped here, but I got pure defenses, base defenses, and base strike, and some more HP key recovery. So sometimes I do opt for her on a strike variant. She does still do solid damage when she's supporting the team. She also supports herself. So at some point, she's actually dealing quite a bit of damage, but I think it's a really great team in today's meta. One of the best, obviously, if it's making this list. But yeah, let's jump into the next one. Okay, the next one we got here is going to be a pure Saiyan setup. It definitely looks like one of the builds that we had previously for Saiyans, and it's pretty much a unkillable setup. So we have all three rush protectors here being Endurance, Indestructible, and Revival. We got, you know, heavy Zenkai buffer, so Goku and Bardock are being triple Zenkai buff. This Goku's being double Zenkai buffed, and then Paikon's having a Zenkai buff as well. But yeah, support, we got, you know, they're all tanking really, really well. Offenses should be pretty much off the charts as well, but it's pretty much the unkillable factor of them all having some form of second life. And yeah, equipments, you definitely want to have this one for all three of them. Pure offenses, base defenses, and special move. Pure strike, base strike, HP. We've gone through this exact equips for Goku Bardock. This one's actually really good for if you're doing Sun Family, so I gotta actually change this one. I might have had a different setup running, but if I had to pick an equipment, it'd be probably this one right here, just giving more base strike, special move. Well, I'm just thinking about it here. You could still run it. You're getting pure strike by 10% because there's two Sun Family battle members, so it's actually not a bad option. I think I just lacked a pure equipment in this setting. I think that's literally what it is. I just lacked the pure equipment in this setting. There's probably a better option for a pure here, but this also does work. But the equipments are the same for the GT Goku as the last. And then the Paikon are the same exact equipments. I actually opted for a double pure on him, so he's getting pure offenses, base defenses, and HP. But yeah, so no HP bench. The equipments are definitely going to have to make up for that in this factor. So this is another wave right here. So you're getting HP for all three of them because he buffs HP on Z ability. All of them have LL abilities. Like I said, so many Zenkai buffs. Very tanky and heavy offensive setup. I think this is easily one of the best teams in the game right now as well. You have the Goku at high stars. This team is just eating pretty much everything. So I definitely recommend this tryout. Let's get into the second team. Or the next team. So the next setup here we do have is Universe Rep. I actually have 4 different options on this setup with Ultra UI, Evo Ken, MVP 17, and LF Jiren. So Ultra UI, you haven't actually seen him on any of the builds that I had previously, but he is a great option, I'll say, with any of the other builds or units that I actually pretty much showed off with, like the GT Spirit Bomb, Revival Pycon, Beast Gohan, Goku and Bardock, you name it, right? Sun Family, Saiyans is a really powerful setup, especially with UI Goku. But we're going to start off with Universe Rep for him, because this was actually the team he kind of came out to be on. You know, last year was really Uni Rep's year, and the team is still very good. But units like Evo Ken, you're really only seeing them on setups with other Universe Rep counterparts. So for the team dynamic, you could actually run all three of these units, maybe even like let go of LF Jiren for another Zenkai buff, for maybe, you know, one of the top characters, maybe either Evo Ken or UI. But I personally like to have LF Jiren. This meta is heavily dominated by green characters, so to have a solid, pretty much one of the tankiest units in the game right now. He's actually insanely good. I think underrated as well. He's got a unique equipment. He's got a Zenkai. He's anti-rush, so if he gets rushed, he's getting endurance. And yeah, equipment-wise, for UI Sign, this is what I opt for. A lot of base blast, base defenses, and ultimate damage is pretty much a blast-heavy setup, like a really blast-heavy setup. So not a lot of strike going on, even though, you know, we might have some strike embedded into this with the Zenkai buffs. But this one giving pure blast, base blast, or base defenses. The last one is a really good one as well. A lot of base blast attack, special move, key recovery, and HP. For Evo Ken, very similar equips. A lot of base blast, special move, key recovery, HP. Middle slots giving a lot of base blast attack. Evo Ken being super blast heavy, like extremely blast heavy. And the pure equipment, of course. So lots of shred from them. The MVP just being the glue, kind of like, I don't want to say falling off a bit, but he really does make the team and hold it down with the cut penetration for the team. He allows the team eat blue cards, ultimate cards, and he cancels buffs as well when he's on the field. But yeah, I gave him this equip, which is giving him pure defenses, base offenses, and HP. This one giving him a lot of base blast attack, defense, and the last one is a rounded out, both offenses and HP. For Jiren, we do have pure strike, or excuse me, pure defense against Saiyans, and Saiyans are the best team in the game. There's so many different variants and some of the top options. I'm going to just flat out put any of the Saiyan tags up at number 1. So pure defense against Saiyans, base strike defense with base HP. Of course, his own unique equipment just has so many stats, health restore, defenses, base HP, more base, double base defenses, I'm realizing right now, inflicted damage, and of course the ability here. But this one as well is the same equip that I gave to 17, pure defenses, base offenses, and HP. This guy's a complete wall. The Zenkai buff for Evo Ken and Bergamo as the HP. There's a couple of things and other variants, I guess. And then you can have Zenkai Bardock there. This is probably the only variant switch I'd throw for reps. You know, yeah, purples are still not up top, but they've gained some value with, you know, the meta being dominated by greens. Your uni rep setup, if I take a quick look, I don't actually want to make the team because I don't think it's amongst the best or like at least top 10 setups if I'm really thinking about it. But I'm just going to show you guys really quickly if you want to build this setup right here. Revival UI, this is a really great option to maybe focus on the Saiyans here. You can actually triple Zenkai buff, Evo Ken, and UI Sign. Maybe if you want to double Zenkai buff, throw an HP bench. HP is pretty important, but can be made up for via the equipments. So that's really, really good. And that's like the other best universe rep setup realistically. There's some good options. I don't think Go Frieza's on any of the best teams currently, unfortunately. They did have a lot of time to dominate, and this Frieza, they have so many options, but not the best in the game. I think the one I showed previously is easily the best universe rep setup. And yeah, let's move on to the next. Okay, the next setup is going to be pure androids. I think this team definitely got a massive buff with the new Super 17. Don't think Gammas really fit well, or I mean they can exist on androids. There's going to be some variant if you want to run androids. There's just not too many purples running around with UI literally eliminating every single purple unit in the game. And I know I only added UI to the one team that you guys saw. I'll probably be adding him on a couple of more setups in the, you know, the next teams here. But UI is a extremely dominant slash unit you're going to see no matter what. Even with the release of Super 17, telling you guys, UI just has too many team options and you just hype value that you're going to see the character no matter what. So UI is definitely going to be running rampant. Purples are already lower value. To run another yellow is, you know, I don't think it's too necessary here, but purple, you know, coming a little bit back into the meta with his team getting value. Also, the team is, or the meta is dominated by green. So you're going to see LF Cell right now on a pure Android setup. I think the team is very damage heavy. The burst damage on this team is actually insane. You want to have MVP on the lead role so you can get access to the Z ability from Abe Vegeta, because Abe does Z ability for Saiyans and powerful opponents, which these two are, giving both base offenses and a Zenkai buff for 17. 17 on this setup is being double Zenkai buffed, Cell being Zenkai buffed. This is the HP. Equipment wise, Android has access to so many different items here. So this one could be on all three of them, giving pure offenses, base offenses, health restore, and special move a very solid option. I opted for this one, but this could obviously be changed as well. But it's giving pure offenses, base defenses, and the last one is just a base equipment with ultimate damage, health restore, base offenses, and HP. For Cell, we do have this one giving special move, ult, base blast, and base strike defense. This one giving a lot of base blast attack and defense, and the last one is the same pure equipment with base offenses, special move, health restore. The equipment that I'd probably opt for in a lot of scenarios, if you want to add another pure to any one of these guys, is going to be this one right here. It's so very powerful if you have a full team of the same typing, which they're all range types. So around 18% to pure blast attack and base HP. So if you got some Zenkai buffers, I'd probably recommend using this item on 17 and getting rid of like one of these equips. It's hard to get rid of this one just because of the ult damage and the rounded outness of it, but this one's really good as well. I probably could replace this one, let's be real. If you don't care too much about the strike, it really is a blast heavy setup. So instead of having 12% to blast, 12% to strike pure, go full 18% blast pure. Add this one right here. 17, same thing. You could add the Shinron equip to all of them. 18% blast pure base HP. This one a lot more base blast attack defense. And this one giving blast attack, special move, health, key recovery. But Android's really good spot. Defenses lack a ton. Don't think it's close to the best setups. It's definitely below the top 5. But still a great team. It's kind of what hinders 17 from being the best. 17's best team literally being on a GT variant setup. I think Android's still great. Obviously rush protection, you know, the flow, the utility, the death damage AoE to the rest of the team from Cell. Team can do crazy work, but as soon as you start getting comboed, it's tough. It's like glass cannon setup. So let's move on to the very next one. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, before we jump into the next one, you could actually opt for swapping this this guy for Jiren. I think Jiren's a great bench option, maybe even a unit option if you want to run double purples. I still think double purples is very dangerous because, you know, UI, right? He's one of those characters that'll literally just snipe your purple. There's no way in and out of it. You got to tank the combo, and if you can't tank the combo, you just die. And Cell's not tanking a combo from UI realistically. So double Zenkai buff for Cell could work, and also the Blast E ability, full blast defense instead of base offenses could work as well. If you want to have Jiren as an option and run double purples, I think this is a build, or like maybe even MVP instead of Cell here. Like this is the setup that I would probably run. So the color synergy is still there. This top row, I mean, given it's not Androids anymore, it's more or less like powerful opponents. You have to work the bench as such, or like something like that. So Android's bench, you'd have to replace this guy. I think I can whip up a bench for you guys really quickly, but it would be pretty much the Android 13. Let's go back to Androids. Go back to Androids. So it'd be Android 13, and it would be the 21 right here. Okay, so this is probably what I'd run in this scenario of this setup. Same build for Jiren as I had on Universe Rep, just a full tank build if you guys... so you can't run this option on him, unfortunately, but you could still run his unique, and then you could run maybe a blast item if you really want to go that route. This one's pretty decent. It's giving pure defense. Base strike. It's a blast heavy setup, so I don't really like it on him here. You could go this. Can't go wrong with this equipment. It's a really offense setup. A key recovery, HP, special move, blast, stuff like that. But yeah, this is a good setup. It's more or less Androids with Jiren. So yeah, move on to the next one. Moving on, we have the best arguable setup in the game. I still, even with the release of Super 17, I still think this is one of, if not the best setup in the game. Kind of saving like the best for last scenario. Is with UI on a pure Saiyan setup. We do have double rush protection with the revival, the indestructible, all three of them having their own Zenkai buffers. So Goku and Bardock does have 2 here. Revival Pikkon has the Super Saiyan 3, and then UI does have Zenkai Bardock. Zenkai Bardock providing HP for the Goku and Bardock and UI on this build. Revival Pikkon lacking a bit of HP. It just is what it is. Don't think it's crazy or anything. But the team is a little bit rounded out. I'm not going to lie. There's, Zenkai buffs for everyone. So everyone's getting base offenses, defenses, double base defense abilities, blast, base, both offenses, strike, and then blast. It's very rounded out setup. Equipments, I'm running the same that I was running for reps. Old damage, base offense, or was it base defenses? Base defenses and base blast. So more blast heavy for UI, of course, but we do have the pure offenses, base defenses, and special move. We do have 3 Saiyan battle member, or Goku and Bardock. It's not the Saiyan equip, but it is the Goku and Bardock equipment. So you're going to make the most out of this if you're running them alongside Goku and Bardock. Highly recommend this with special move. And then this one's giving more special move, base blast, attack, recovery, HP, stuff like that. For Pikkon, strike heavy, HP, defenses. This one giving pure strike defense. It's pretty much the same build, and you definitely want to have this equipment. I've had on so many setups. And Goku Bardock's the same thing, double pure, and this one's rounded out, pure or base offenses with base HP. But this one I still think is the best, if not one of the best, top 3 setup in the game, quite easily in the game right now. There's just too much going on here, from the utility, the rush protection, the UI mechanics. UI just has individually one of, if not the best mechanics in the game. Given he doesn't have like all the teams I kind of just mentioned, but he fits very well on numerous teams. Good, so you can just replace Pikkon with GT Spirit Bomb. Could be a great setup. Double Zenkai buff. We do this, then we do the, of course, the, oh my god, I hate looking for units like this, bro. Namek, and then you throw like Blue Pan right here. This is also a very solid setup. But yeah, this is one of the best teams in the game, and now I'm gonna roll like honorable mentions. So yeah, I was forgetting about Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on when I pulled up the Saiyans and whatnot. But yeah, UI is just too many different options and stuff like that. But the next one, we do have a pure Saiyan setup for bench. You probably want to throw, let's see, Goku and Bardock on lead role here, and then we make this into like a, I guess it doesn't really matter too much if we're doing the bench for Saiyans here. If we go to Saiyans, go all the way down. I know I didn't say, I said I probably wouldn't do bench, but I'll just do it anyways for you guys. So we'll do this, and then you throw the EX Goku, which is giving 22% to base blast attack. Ops are above average. Z ability, 4 HP specifically, if I can find the Kid Goku. Oh my goodness, right here. This is inarguable one of the best setups here. So these guys having the rush protection, Gogeta Forge is doing his thing as well. It's pretty close to like the mono green setup, but this is, the blue Pikkon replacement. GT Spirit Bomb does a really good thing at replacing one of the rush protection characters. This is a good variant team right here. All right, on this one is going to be a GT setup honorable mention here. Instead of having G4, we're going to be adding the Bulla, which she actually is a really good synergistic option for the characters you see here. And the color synergy as well, blue, red, purple is really good. But Zenkai buff for the Spirit Bomb, Zenkai buff for 17. Bulla is support, obviously. She's not the best unit, but she's definitely underrated. I think even on drop here, she's actually a really solid option / damage dealing character. And yeah, that's just as of right now. She's still on boost, but I would highly recommend you guys giving this setup a go. Just GT equipments, bench, stuff like that, if you want to do that. But the Zenkai buffs, HP, this is an honorable mention. I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but this is another great GT option. Okay, so the last honorable mention is going to be a movies team with double revival here, double green revivals with Pikkon, Piccolo, also both of them providing support for Beast Gohan as well. But Beast Gohan pretty much being the unit that's going to ramp himself up, doing all the damage. We got double Zenkai buffs on him. You could actually replace one of these if you wanted to get like an HP going. I'd probably put Goku in this role. This is also a viable setup. But yeah, just a really defensive setup, really defense heavy, because all of these, actually these two specifically, are giving defenses. I'm pretty sure Piccolo's base strike. And then, like I said, the support's definitely going to go through, but double revival should be coming in handy. I still prefer the setup with Pan, just so Beast Gohan could get going a little bit faster, the damage, but this setup can definitely work, and it's worth mentioning here in the honorable mentions. But yeah, movies has got a lot of different variants as well. Probably say last, you can really run this setup with anyone here. I guess one last honorable mention, just because I can't help it. but we'll do the UI setup here. I've seen this setup ran so many times. It's not, I don't even know if I'd argue the best setup. Is definitely runner up. It's just best partners, right? It's just a huge lack of rush protection, but Beast Gohan UI doing its thing with pan support, and then you just buff double Zenkai buff for the movies. Yeah, it's just like a movie setup or hybrids if you want to do that route. But if you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the very next one. Stay frosty, and I'm out.